Join us as we honor the stars, visionaries, and icons who passed between May 1st and 10th, 2017 in the United States. Queen O'Hara. She was born in January 1941 and she died in May 2017. Her age was 76 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. A Scottish-born American actress who became a popular figure in 1960s beach party and comedy films. She was a frequent television guest star on shows like The Man from U.N.C.L.E. O'Hara is best remembered for her roles in films like The Swinging Sower and The Ghost in the Invisible Bikini. Michael Parks. He was born in April 1940 and he died in May 2017. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. A prolific American actor and singer known for his intense and versatile performances. He was a favorite of directors like Quentin Tarantino and Kevin Smith, gaining cult status for roles from Dusk Till Dawn, Kill Bill, and Red State. He also starred in the television series Then Came Bronson. Janet Pilgrim. She was born in June 1934 and she died in May 2017. Her age was 82 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American model who was a key figure in the early days of Playboy magazine. She was chosen as Playmate of the Month 3 times, in July 1955, December 1955, and October 1956. She later worked in the magazine's editorial and subscription departments. Kurt Loewens. He was born in November 1925 and he died in May 2017. His age was 91 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American character actor who appeared in over 100 films and television shows, often playing German or Eastern European officials. He was a Holocaust survivor who, as a member of the Dutch resistance, saved 150 Jewish children. His film roles include Torn Curtain and The Hindenburg. Christopher Boykin. He was born in January 1972 and he died in May 2017. His age was 45 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart failure. Known professionally as Big Black, he was an American television personality and musician. He gained fame as the co-star of the MTV reality series Rob and Big, where he served as the best friend and bodyguard to skateboarder Rob Dyrdek. He was known for his gentle demeanor and comedic timing. Edwin Sharon. He was born in January 1930 and he died in May 2017. His age was 87 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American theater director and television producer, he won a Tony Award for directing the original 1969 Broadway production of The Great White Hope. He later became an executive producer and director for the long-running television drama Law and Order, shaping its signature style. Douglas Nutter. He was born in May 1921 and he died in May 2017. His age was 95 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American television executive and producer, after serving as an executive at MGM and president of the MGM television division, he became an independent producer. He is best known as the executive producer of the popular 1990s science fiction series Babylon 5. Joy Byers. She was born in May 1934 and she died in May 2017. Her age was 82 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American songwriter who, often with her husband, Bob Johnston, wrote numerous songs in the 1960s. She is best known for penning It Hurts Me, a ballad considered one of Elvis Presley's finest recordings of the era. Her songs were also recorded by artists like Timmy Euro and Roy Orbison. Anne Morrissey Merrick. She was born in July 1933 and she died in May 2017. Her age was 83 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death were complications from dementia. An American journalist who was a pioneer for women in war reporting. She was one of the first female correspondents for ABC News in 1967. She famously covered the Vietnam War, reporting from the front lines during the Tet Offensive. Bruce Hampton. He was born in April 1947 and he died in May 2017. His age was 70 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. A surrealist American musician and singer, considered a patriarch of the jam band scene. He founded influential groups like the Hampton Grease Band and the Aquarium Rescue Unit. He was renowned for his bizarre, free-form performances and mentored many younger musicians. He collapsed from a heart attack on stage during his 70th birthday concert. Stanley Weston. He was born in April 1933 and he died in May 2017. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American licensing executive and inventor who created the concept for the G.I. Joe action figure. He developed the idea for a posable miniature doll for boys in 1963 and sold the concept to Hasbro. His idea revolutionized the toy industry, creating the action figure category. Charles Hoffer. He was born in December 1929 and he died in May 2017. His age was 87 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American professor and author who was a leading figure in the field of music education. He served as the president of the National Association for Music Education. Hoffer authored many widely used textbooks that helped train generations of music teachers across the United States. Dave Pell. He was born in February 1925 and he died in May 2017. His age was 92 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American jazz saxophonist and band leader who was a key figure in the West Coast jazz movement. He was a prominent member of the Les Brown's orchestra. Pell was most famous for his Dave Pell Octet, which was known for its sophisticated, light, and structured arrangements. Peter Kivy. He was born in October 1934 and he died in May 2017. His age was 82 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American philosopher and professor at Rutgers University. He was one of the world's leading scholars in the field of aesthetics, particularly the philosophy of music. Kivy wrote extensively on musical expression, emotion, and authenticity. T. Gary Rogers. He was born in July 1942 and he died in May 2017. His age was 74 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American businessman who served as a CEO and chairman of Dreyer's Grand Ice Cream. He and his partners brought the small company in 1977 and built it into one of the largest ice cream manufacturers in the United States. He was also a prominent philanthropist in the Bay Area. C. Jackson Grayson. He was born in October 1923 and he died in May 2017. His age was 93 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American economist who served as the chairman of the Price Commission under President Richard Nixon, implementing the wage and price controls of the 1970s. He later founded the American Productivity and Quality Center. Alan H. Meltzer. He was born in February 1928 and he died in May 2017. His age was 89 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. A distinguished American economist and professor at Carnegie Mellon University. He was a leading authority on monetary policy and the history of the Federal Reserve. Meltzer was known for his monetarist views and his comprehensive, multi-volume A History of Federal Reserve. John Schultz. He was born in July 1932 and he died in May 2017. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American writer of fiction and non-fiction, he was also a teacher of writing, the creator of the story workshop method of writing instruction, and a professor in the fiction writing department at Columbia College Chicago. Jack Tilton. He was born in April 1951 and he died in May 2017. His age was 66 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from cancer. An influential American art dealer and founder of the Tilton Gallery in New York City, he was known for his early championing of artists who later became major figures. Tilton was celebrated for his adventurous taste and strong support for contemporary Chinese and African American artists. William Baumol. He was born in February 1922 and he died in May 2017. His age was 95 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An influential American economist and professor at New York University and Princeton, he was known for several major contributions, including Baumol's cost disease, which explains rising costs in labor-intensive sectors. He was also a pioneer in the study of entrepreneurship. Judith Stein. She was born in April 1940 and she died in May 2017. Her age was 77 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death were complications from lung cancer. An American historian and professor at City University of New York, she was a prominent scholar of post-New Deal United States political and economic history. Her notable works, including Pivotal Decade, challenged conventional narratives about liberalism and civil rights. James S. Sutherland. He was born in March 1922 and he died in May 2017. His age was 95 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American diplomat who served for decades in the United States Foreign Service and at the United Nations. He was a key figure in the back channel negotiations and planning during the reunification of Germany. He later taught at Yale University. Peter T. Flown. He was born in February 1926 and he died in May 2017. His age was 91 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American geologist and academic administrator, he served 2 non-consecutive terms as the president of the University of Texas at Austin from 1979 to 1985 and from 1997 to 1998. Flown was a respected geologist and a member of the National Academy of Engineering. Richard Pennington. He was born in November 1946 and he died in May 2017. His age was 70 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American police officer who served as the chief of police in New Orleans from 1994 to 2002, where he led efforts to reform the troubled department. He later served as the chief of police in Atlanta from 2002 to 2010. Lee Weisenborn. He was born in March 1929 and he died in May 2017. His age was 88 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American politician and attorney who served in the Florida House of Representatives and the Florida Senate. He was known as a progressive Democrat who championed civil rights and legislative reforms. He was instrumental for the construction of a new Florida Capitol building. Greg Forrestal. He was born in February 1950 and he died in May 2017. His age was 67 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from cancer. An American farmer and politician who served as a Republican member of the Iowa House of Representatives from 2007 until his death. He also served as the chair of the Labor Committee and as a member of the Economic Development Appropriations Subcommittee. Wilburn K. Ross. He was born in May 1922 and he died in May 2017. His age was 94 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. A United States Army soldier who received the Medal of Honor for his actions during the Second World War. In 1944, his company was attacked by a large German force, and he single-handedly held off the enemy with his machine gun for hours, despite overwhelming odds. Edward Lund Young. He was born in September 1920 and he died in May 2017. His age was 96 at the time of his death, and he died in his sleep. An American politician who served as a Republican United States Representative from South Carolina from 1973 to 1975. He was a decorated Second World War veteran. After his single term in Congress, he returned to his business career. Richard Bastiano. He was born in July 1925 and he died in May 2017. His age was 91 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American real estate developer who was a notorious figure in New York City's Times Square. He was a major owner of pornography theaters and sex shops in the area during the 1970s and 80s. He later owned the Philadelphia building that collapsed in 2013, killing 6 people. Leo K. Thorsness. He was born in February 1932 and he died in May 2017. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. A United States Air Force officer who received the Medal of Honor for his actions in the Vietnam War, where he flew missions as a wild weasel pilot. He was shot down and spent 6 years as a prisoner of war. Thorsness later served as a Washington State Senator. Dennis H. Faber. He was born in March 1946 and he died in May 2017. His age was 71 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American painter, photographer, and educator, Faber was the director of the Mount Royal School of Art at Maryland Institute College of Art from 2000 to 2004 and co-chair of MICA's Foundations Department from 2010 to 2011. Richard Batty. He was born in October 1929 and he died in May 2017. His age was 87 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American jurist who served as a United States District Judge for the District of South Dakota. He was appointed by President Ronald Reagan in 1985. He was known for presiding over several high-profile cases involving Native American reservations. Irene Smart. She was born in March 1921 and she died in May 2017. Her age was 96 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American Ohio Democratic Party politician and a former member of the Ohio General Assembly, an attorney by trade, Smart served in the Ohio House of Representatives from 1972 to 1976. She served on the municipal court until 1985 when she moved up to the Stark County Court of Common Pleas. In 1988, Smart again moved up, this time to the Ohio 5th District Court of Appeals. Alma W. Bird. She was born in September 1923 and she died in May 2017. Her age was 93 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American educator and politician who was a pioneer for civil rights in South Carolina. In 1991, she became the first African American woman to serve in the South Carolina General Assembly since Reconstruction. Paul Hanneman. He was born in July 1936 and he died in May 2017. His age was 80 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American politician who was a member of the Oregon House of Representatives. He was a businessman, owning and operating a resort and a sign company. He was also a sport fishery guide, boat builder, and owner of a commercial fishing vessel. Mike Lowry. He was born in March 1939 and he died in May 2017. His age was 78 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from a stroke. An American politician who served as the 20th governor of Washington from 1993 to 1997. A Democrat, he also served 7 terms in the United States House of Representatives. As a governor, he focused on health care reform and environmental protection. His political career ended when his deputy press secretary, Suzanne Albright, made accusations of sexual misconduct against him. John Cavella. He was born in May 1969 and he died in May 2017. His age was 47 at the time of his death, and he took his own life. An American politician who served as a Democratic member of the Michigan House of Representatives. He represented an Upper Peninsula district from 2013 until his death. He died by taking his own life shortly after being released from jail for a second DUI arrest. Alice Langtry. She was born in June 1932 and she died in May 2017. Her age was 84 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American politician and a former Republican member of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. A member of the House from 1985 to 1992, she chaired the Budget and Finance Committee. She was also an advocate of term limits of elected officials. George Uni Durower. He was born in June 1936 and he died in May 2017. His age was 80 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American prelate of Roman Catholic Church, he served as the Archbishop of San Francisco from 2005 to 2012. He was known for his pastoral approach, but faced controversy for his handling of LGBTQ issues, including same-sex adoption. Michael Zweck. He was born in November 1949 and he died in May 2017. His age was 67 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was lung cancer. An American painter and artist associated with the pictures generation of the 1970s and 1980s, alongside artists like Cindy Sherman and Robert Longo. He was known for his evocative paintings and sculptures that often incorporated historical and mythological imagery. Sam Mill. He was born in January 1922 and he died in May 2017. His age was 95 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American professional baseball player, manager, coach, and scout in Major League Baseball. He played 10 seasons as an outfielder in MLB. He's best known as the manager of the Minnesota Twins, leading them to their first World Series appearance in 1965. Jay Carty. He was born in July 1941 and he died in May 2017. His age was 75 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from cancer. An American basketball player who played for the Los Angeles Lakers during the 1968 and 1969 season. After his brief NBA career, he played professionally in Europe. He later became a Christian minister and author of inspirational books. Glenna Sukid. She was born in September 1933 and she died in May 2017. Her age was 83 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. an American pitcher and infielder who played from 1950 through 1954 in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. She was inducted into the Women's Baseball Hall of Fame. She also had a bit part in the 1992 film A League of Their Own, directed by Penny Marshall. Adolf Kiefer. He was born in June 1918 and he died in May 2017. His age was 98 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from pneumonia. An American swimmer who won the gold medal in the 100-meter backstroke at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. He broke the world record and was a dominant swimmer of his era. He later founded Adolf Kiefer and Associates, a company that provided innovative swimming equipment. Clarence Williams. He was born in September 1946 and he died in May 2017. His age was 70 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American professional football defensive end in the National Football League for the Dallas Cowboys and Green Bay Packers. He was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in the 11th round of the 1969 NFL-AFL draft. He played college football at Prairie View A&M University. George Irvin. He was born in February 1948 and he died in May 2017. His age was 69 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. An American professional basketball player, coach, and executive. He played for the Virginia Squares in the ABA. He later served as the head coach for the Indiana Pacers and the Detroit Pistons, and also worked as a scout and executive for several NBA teams. Chuck Osborne. He was born in November 1917 and he died in May 2017. His age was 99 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American college basketball player who was a standout center for Bradley University. He was a key member of the 1949 to 1950 Bradley team that finished as the runner-up in both the NCAA tournament and the NIT. Bob Mim. He was born in October 1924 and he died in May 2017. His age was 92 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was prostate cancer. An American race walker who competed in the 1960 Summer Olympics. After retirement, he indulged his passion for travel and set foot on all 7 continents. His adventures in over 100 countries mostly involved hiking and mountain climbing. Stephen Hawking. He was born in April 1980 and he died in May 2017. His age was 37 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was accidental overdose. An American bobsled driver who was a 3-time Olympic medalist. He famously piloted the night train 4-man bobsled team to a gold medal at the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. This ended a 62-year gold medal drought for the United States in the event. William A. Davis Jr. He was born in July 1927 and he died in May 2017. His age was 89 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from Alzheimer's disease. An American engineer and distinguished leader in ballistic missile defense for the United States Army at Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. Davis was an inaugural member of the United States Senior Executive Service and recipient of numerous accolades and awards from the Army. Rod Monroe. He was born in July 1976 and he died in May 2017. His age was 40 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. An American professional football tight end in the National Football League for the Atlanta Falcons and Cleveland Browns. He was selected by the Dallas Cowboys in the 7th round of the 1998 NFL Draft. If you found these stories meaningful, don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more tributes to the lives that shaped our world.